our interaction today. The topic is man is a transitional being, he is not final. Sri Aurobindo is written in the hour of God. Yesterday I met some children while they were playing sports, and I requested them that look it up. Look it up and read a little before that, read a little after that, and let's see what you understand from this statement.
Ma'am, Anant.
Anant.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. What is Sri Aurobindo trying to say in this statement?
Ma'am, that the
Transitional?
being is not final. He's not final. He can be more than transitional being.
He can be more than he is,
Yes,
right?
Yes.
Ma'am, my name is Rohan Shrivastava from class 7D. Ma'am, it means that, ma'am, we always keep learning and improving. And, ma'am, we are not final because, ma'am, if we, ma'am, become perfect, then, ma'am, we'll become the God. So, ma'am, we should always keep learning and keep improving.
So if we become perfect, we will become God. Is that what you said?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. Is there any harm in becoming more and more perfect? What is the aim of life? What is the aim of your school? It is the school of?
Ma'am, consciousness.
So you're transforming to become more and more perfect, right?
Yes, ma'am.
So there's no harm in becoming more and more perfect. In fact, on the contrary, it is important because our whole potential has not manifested itself. There are so many weaknesses in our body. There is still disease, there is still ill health. Should it be there?
No.
If God has become man, then man has the potentiality to become?
God.
Yeah. God has become man, so man may become God. But are we close to the divine perfection in our body?
No, ma'am.
Are we close to perfection in our emotional being? No. And what about our mental being? Are we using all the cells of our brain? We know now we are hardly using 10% or maybe less of all the cells of the brain. So there's so much work left to do. Right or wrong?
Yes.
Good.
Om, Sony of 9th G. Man is a transitional being, he is not final. So, ma'am, from this statement, I can understand in each and every second we have a chance to improve ourselves in a good manner or a bad manner. He is not final. If a person is bad today, he can be good tomorrow. He can be good in next second. And the person who is good now, from a bad direction, he can be bad in a very next second. It's not final, and we each and every time we have a chance to improve ourselves. The divine almighty give us chance every time to be perfect as him, but we human beings many times don't. It's like we deny it from doing wrong things and not agreeing to it.
Yeah, let us only talk positive.
Yes, ma'am.
That we are studying in the School of Conscious Transformation, and we are getting the opportunity, not only in the school, even at home, everybody gets, there are always choices and choices and choices. It depends on what choice we make. What do we choose? If we choose to take the right path, ritasya panthaha, we will go on ascending. Who wants to not ascend? Is there anybody here who says, I'm fine as I am, mediocre? I'm fine in my mediocrity. Anybody here who says, मेरे को ascend वसेंड नहीं करना है, मैं जैसा हूँ मैं एकदम सही हूँ, ऐसा कोई है यहाँ? नहीं ना? अच्छा.
I want to refer this line with this is a story written in our diary, the story of evolution, on page 94. In the last paragraph, it is written, today the door is open for all mankind. We have a choice to remain content in our mediocrity, or choose to collaborate with Shakti, whose evolutionary force constantly compels us to elaborate with her, to take with her the next leap forward, her evolutionary march, to become luminous beings of light, love, power, and bliss. We still hear her whisper. It says, change for you, must change. But this time the choice is yours.
Yes.
So, ma'am, I conclude from this that it is our choice if we want to evolve or not. We have the power to evolve into, like we have learned from spiritual retreat, we can evolve. We are the small little
Ansh
parts
matra.
of yes, ma'am. We are the small parts of God that still has the power to. In Hindi, we call chingari. Ma'am, we still have the power. If just need a little bit of fuel, and then we have power to become the whole divine being.
Yes, very good, very good.
Ma'am, I'm Arika from 8A. Ma'am, according to me, this means that transition in a person keeps taking place. Nobody is born perfect. We improve, we learn from our mistakes, and we keep changing. Our state is not fixed. We learn from things, and then we show progress in our development. So nobody is born perfect, and whatever we are is not final. We can still improve and change.
Yes, perfect, very good.
Good morning, ma'am.
Yes, good
My name
morning.
is Anvi Mishra. I am from class 8B. The code man is a transitional being. I think that when we are born, we are supposed to be, people think that we are supposed to be perfect. But man now is advancing slowly and slowly towards perfection, towards God Himself. So he's transitioning into a better person, into a more advanced version of itself.
Very beautiful.
Thus, that means that we are not final. When the final stage comes, I'll take this stage as the Kal Yuga. When the Kal Yuga, nearing the end of the Kal Yuga, we will know what the final stage of mankind is.
Very good, very good. So we are all evolving.
First of all, I'm Samriddhi Dikshit from 7C. Man is a transitional being. He's not final. So my opinion on this is that anyone who has been taken birth is not perfect. We all learn. We all learn gradually. We do not know how to talk or how to walk when we are just toddlers. We just crawl around. So till the end of our life, we keep learning. We cannot do anything to its fullest because the lifespan we've got is to build ourselves to a better person each and every day.
Yes, and the next life you will be born with the perfection that you've achieved in this life, right? And from there you will move forward. So we have to make an effort to use our life as beautifully as possible so that every moment, whatever perfection we reach, next life will be born with that perfection.
Ma'am, I want to say that nowadays we are having baby pods in which we can, ma'am, some people can customize them. So, ma'am, are we not final? Are those babies not final?
Final means, was the ape final?
Ma'am,
Did the ape evolve into human beings?
yes, ma'am.
So the human being thinks that I am final. There can't be any more evolution. But today the topic is this, we'll talk about it and you'll understand. Human being is not final. There is more evolution and it's all secret. And only those who will choose to evolve will leap into the new species. We are going to talk about it today. So actually this statement, man is a transitional being. He is not final. This is a trailblazer. It's a phrase which gives us the secret to our life and how our life can evolve into a higher life and a higher life. It's a trailblazing statement. Sri Aurobindo has said, evolution is the next step. Can we read it silently? At present, mankind is undergoing an evolutionary crisis. We'll talk about the evolutionary crisis, in which is concealed a choice of its destiny. What are the key words in this? Key words are choice. Key word is choice. Another key word is destiny. Inside this statement, Sri Aurobindo is saying that the choice of how our destiny will shape is with us. We can choose to evolve, we can choose to collaborate with Shakti, and we can move forward really fast. Or we can choose to remain as we are. Right? And the other key word in this is evolutionary crisis. When the ape was going to turn into man, is there a little difference between the ape and man, or is there a big difference? Very big difference. So the ape was also going through an evolutionary crisis. But the ape didn't know because he didn't have a choice. Only those apes who were healthy and ready, their bodies were prepared, they were used, we'll talk about it later. They were used by Shakti, and those apes converted, transformed into man. What a big leap of evolution it was, right? Similar leap is going to be from man to what Sri Aurobindo is saying. We'll talk about it, right? Now, have we made some progress since we became man from ape? What were we? We were cavemen, right? Barbarians almost. From then to now, have we made some progress? What all fields have we made progress in? Science, technology, yes, architecture, education, politics, yeah, kind of. Huh? Lifestyle, medicine, standard of living. So today we are standing at a critical stage, right, students? We must admit that we've made great progress. We have made great progress in science, technology, literature, telecommunication, information technology, robotics, medicine, commerce, transportation, AI, even chat GPT. Yeah? So we've made a lot of progress. In the mental and scientific realm, we have made no doubt great progress. But is there some field in which we've remained dwarfed? Some field in which we've made no progress?
Spirituality. Ma'am, the human being didn't concentrate on spirituality while evolving in other fields.
Yes, we have hardly made any progress in spirituality, in our respect for nature. How many of us really care for nature? We do. But is that enough, what we are doing to nature today? What is happening to nature? We are using... Yes. Our disrespect for nature, our disharmony with nature, what is it leading to? It's leading to another crisis. A global warming, it's a huge crisis. And who's responsible for it? We are responsible for it, right? And then there is religious and political terrorism. Isn't that? Have we made any progress in that? No. So there are so many things that show that mankind is in a state of crisis. What is the way out? What is the way forward? My submission to you is that at the root of all this, all these problems, lies the crisis of human evolution. Everybody understands this term? Yes. And that crisis is looking at us in our face. It is showing us, look at the crisis that you are facing. Your world is facing. Right? And this evolutionary crisis, what is it doing? It bewilders us. Why does it bewilder us? We all know that we should look after nature. But we don't know how to do it. It is in our face, but we don't know the method of dealing with this crisis. It's like Arjun's problem. He was right there in the Mahabharat ka Yudh at Kurukshetra. Was he not prepared for it? How many astras and shastras he had got from all the gods? How prepared was he? And yet he faced a crisis. He said, I can't. And he put his Gandiva down. Right? So, this is a kind of a huge crisis that we are all facing. And it is unfortunate that we have reached this stage where we are facing this crisis and we are believing that we are the epitome of creation. We have done so much. There is no problem. There is no need for anything else. I am at the height of evolution. How many of us think that we are at the height of evolution? There is no other progress left for me. Nobody, no? We all know that there is progress that is there, secret, and we have to make a choice towards it. And Sri Aurobindo says that in the next rung of evolution, what will we become? Man may consciously choose to evolve into the new species. Luminous beings of light, love, power, and bliss. What are the three instruments that we talked about? The envelopes, the body, right? Then vital, love. What about the mental? Light. Psychic is already perfect. So the psychic has to be invited into the body. The psychic has to be invited into the vital being. Yeah, the vital needs to be infused with love. Right? The body needs to be infused with power. I will tell you about it in the last slide. How? Sri Aurobindo's even told us how to get to infuse this body, every cell of our body, with power, and how to infuse the brain with light. So the luminous beings will be, let's say, read it together. We may consciously choose to evolve into the new species, luminous beings of light, love, power, and bliss. So I know it seems very hard to believe, है ना? It's difficult to believe, na, कि we'll become luminous beings of light, love, power, and bliss. With all the progress that we have made, we feel, arey, we are already luminous beings. But we are not. Here's the thought for the day. If the ape had been told that you are going to evolve into Shaurya, into Pramini ma'am, into Kanika ma'am, into Mitali ma'am, would the ape have believed it? Would the ape have believed it? Why he won't believe it? Because he had no example to look at. The ape was a species, and there was no higher species that he could look at and say, I want to become like that. There was no example for him. Similarly, today when man is told that you will become a luminous being of light, love, power and bliss, we keep questioning it. हो सकता है कि नहीं हो सकता है, क्या फ़ायदा है? And the ape kept saying, Arey, I can peel a banana, I can eat it so gracefully, I can swing so beautifully from tree to tree. What evolution are you talking about? Similarly, man, you can say, Arey, I know the Bhagavad Gita, I can give talks on the Bhagavad Gita, Arey, I am so strong, I am always winning all the sports events, I am so bright, I always come first in my class. What evolution are you talking about? Right? But think about it, children. Those of us who will start thinking that we have reached the epitome of creation and evolution, we will close the doors for ourselves, for our further evolution. But those of us who will want to consciously, who will aspire to consciously collaborate with Shakti, you will take one step forward, Shakti will take 100 steps forward and lift us from the morass we are in and lift us into becoming luminous beings of light, love, power and bliss. Do you see any coordination of these 4 words with your 4 houses? Wisdom, light. Wait, perfection comes later. She's the youngest of them. Love is harmony, power is strength, and perfection is perfection is Maha Saraswati. These are 4 Shaktis. Maheshwari, Mahakali, Mahalakshmi, Maha Saraswati. Right? So, see, the ape body, did it evolve into a super ape? What did it evolve into? Human beings. Can you see the gap between an ape and a human being? It's an evolutionary leap. It was a leap into a new species. We are a different species than apes, right? Right? And why didn't all the apes evolve? There are still so many apes left. Why didn't all the apes evolve? Because there was something called the natural selection at that time. Right? Because the apes didn't have a mind. They couldn't make a choice. So, the nature itself selected those apes whose bodies were perfect, which were ready to be used. Their body was used as a laboratory, and nature, Shakti, used their bodies and the human being was born out of those bodies, those apes. And the rest of the apes remained a banana peeling, tree to tree swinging apes. Do we want to miss the bus like those apes missed? Does anybody here want to miss the bus and remain as we are? Yeah, so we all have to be very conscious. And consciously we have to keep choosing, making the right choices. Today we humans are standing at the same critical juncture that the ape was standing, of the same critical juncture of our evolutionary journey. And this is an hour of evolutionary crisis. And in this evolutionary crisis is hidden a choice of our destiny. What we choose, that will create our destiny, that will write our destiny, that will open the path of our destiny. Right? At present, mankind is undergoing an evolutionary crisis in which is concealed a choice of its destiny. Right? You all have understood fully, completely? Has everybody understood? Anybody has a question at this point? See, as I said earlier, Arjun was standing in the middle of Kurukshetra, and he was totally prepared for the battle, and yet he was facing a crisis, and he couldn't take part. He said, I can't fight. He knew what has to be done, and yet he said, I can't fight. Now, what if he had chosen not to fight? Can somebody think? Because it was his choice. Shri Krishna was telling him, ye le lo, ye kar lo. What would have happened if he had chosen not to fight?
Ma'am, the Kauravas would have still died because Krishna ji told Arjuna that their death had been written either by his hand or someone else's.
So Arjun would have missed that opportunity to be called the real hero of the war.
Yes,
and Arjun would have missed that opportunity to evolve consciously. He would have gone into some Himalayas, and from there he would have been thinking all the time, oh Lord, agar maine lada hota, agar maine ye kara hota, what was the point? So Sri Krishna helped through the Gita to make him understand what is the choice he should make. Someday we'll talk about that. The 3 reasons why Arjun gave why he should not fight.
Evolutionary crisis, I couldn't
Yes.
understand.
Huh? You didn't understand the evolutionary crisis?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Anvi, what is evolution? Evolution is that we take the next step forward in our being. So right now we may be like, earlier we were barbaric, but we evolved, and now there is Anvi, so beautiful and so refined. She has such beautiful questions. Has there been an evolution or no?
Yes, ma'am.
In the barbaric being that your soul was trapped in at some time, some point of your life, evolution, and today Anvi is such a lovely girl who has such beautiful questions. Have you not evolved?
Yes, ma'am.
But today the crisis is such that we have to make a choice. We have to make a choice that do I want to evolve further? Will I consciously transform myself? Will I consciously try to collaborate with Shakti, collaborate with the evolutionary force who is all around us? We'll talk about the evolutionary force. That evolutionary force is all around us, and it is waiting for our Anvi to say, oh Shakti, use me as your instrument. Oh Shakti, I invite you. And where is that Shakti? We talked about it. Where is that Shakti? Right here inside us. The soul is, that potentiality is right there inside us. Shakti is all around us. But the choice is ours. If we don't take that choice, if we don't make that choice that I want to collaborate with Shakti, then Shakti will lie sleeping inside you, and it will make no difference. Shakti will not go on knocking on your door. But if we choose that, yes, I want to collaborate with Shakti, then Shakti will, you will take 1 step forward, Shakti will take 100 steps forward. After lunch, we are going to talk about how to do it. Because all these are things that are so easy to talk about, but what do I do? Anvi's question will be, पर मैं करूँ क्या मैम? How do I collaborate? है ना? Generalization से क्या फ़ायदा है? So that we'll talk about after lunch. You've understood evolutionary crisis?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, we are at a point of crisis. Our destiny depends on the choice we make. I am repeating many things again and again and again. Because एक बार बोला तो वो register नहीं करता है. इसलिए मैं बार बार कई चीज़ों को repeat कर रही हूँ, and it is not by mistake. It is consciously I have chosen to repeat myself. So, now what is the next rung? The next rung of evolution is, what is needed for further evolution is not merely a more agile mind, ki mind will become smarter, more agile. No, it is not even a maximizing of mind. That the mind will start using each and every cell that is given in the grey matter. No, it is not even a greater scientific and technical genius. No. And it is, in the vital, it is not that we will become like sages and saints. No. It is something quite different. What is that something different? Inside our body, something is waiting to manifest a new methodology of consciousness, a new technology of consciousness, a new mastery of consciousness. You all know about consciousness, no? You all are doing that project, or you all have done that project, Raising Universal Consciousness. So you understand what is consciousness. That consciousness will only evolve into a new consciousness, something totally different. What did Satprem say? You all should read Satprem's books. They are there in our library. Very interesting. He's a French man. So his way of writing is very simple and very beautiful. So Satprem says, this is the time for something else. We are not talking about just an improvement of the man. Something else which is not the same thing with improvements. We are not talking of becoming an improvement on man. Satprem. Right? What is hidden between these lines, my dear students, is that this new consciousness that will manifest in the new species will be as different from man as man is different from the ape. It is not an improvement of man that we are speaking of. It is a grand leap into a new species. The new species will be luminous beings of light, love, power and bliss. Yes, this you should learn. Right? Then when you know कि कौन सा रास्ता लेना है, तब तो उस रास्ते पे चलोगे. अगर हम यहाँ आज लखनऊ में हैं and I want to go to Bombay, I don't know where I want to go and I've started my journey. Will I be able to go there? Will I be able to reach there? We have to know, where do we have to go? So where do we have to go? We want to collaborate with Shakti so that we become the luminous beings of light, love, power and bliss. And this collaborates perfectly with your 4 houses: wisdom, harmony, strength and perfection. Right? Now you understand that ऐसे ये 4 नाम नहीं रखे हैं houses के. There is a reason that your 4 houses are called wisdom, strength, harmony and perfection. See, the evolutionary force made the choice of which apes will evolve. But in human beings, the evolutionary force is there to help. But it will only help those who will collaborate with her, who will consciously invite her into this. And what did we talk about in the morning? That we invite how many times a day? Many. No, those are the 4 silence periods. We'll talk about that also. We've decided today, Vinodji, that the 4 times that we have the silence, 2 minutes, what we'll do in each silence time with collaboration with the students. So this vital choice has to be made by us only. We may consciously choose to evolve into the new species, or else we can choose to remain in our mediocrity. Right? Understood? Now, if this has to be done, can this be done just by our mind? Just by our vital being? Just by our physical being? Are we capable of doing this, taking this huge leap forward? Are we capable of doing that just alone by ourselves? Are we capable of taking this huge leap alone? So, this delivery of human being turning into the luminous being of light, love, power, and bliss, this delivery is to be effected. And this cannot be done even by the super gymnastic mind. It cannot. Who is going to help? Only a comprehensive power. Which power is that? Of which our mind is just a shadow, just a little shadow our mind is. That evolutionary force, you can call it Shakti, you can call it evolutionary force, you can call it the creatrix. That force is, let's call it for today, Shakti. Shakti is within us. Shakti is within us, but it is veiled. Can we experience Shakti here inside ourselves? It is covered. Only when we go on inviting, go on connecting, the Shakti will start unveiling herself. And Shakti is all around us. Right? Shaurya had said that it is all around us, why should we invite? You've understood, Shaurya, why we should invite? Everybody does not invite. Only those who invite Shakti to collaborate with her, she comes forward and helps us to take that next leap. So Shakti is within us. Shakti is all around us. And Shakti transcends all that we comprehend as the universe. Shakti is there in the whole universe. Shakti is there in the expanding galaxies. And Shakti is beyond the expanding galaxies. That is the comprehensive power that we are talking, which we can call Shakti, or we can call Chit Shakti because it is conscious force, or we can call her the Divine Mother, or we can call her the Supreme Creatrix Force. So it is Shakti which creates. It is Shakti which manifests the will of God. God wills and Shakti manifests. God wills and Shakti manifests. Right? So you've understood this? It is this Shakti which whispered in the ape. You had read out that there's Shakti which whispered in the ape and said, change, for you must change. And the ape listened to it, and those apes which were ready, they transformed. That same Shakti is whispering in our ears, change, for you must change. You will change. But only those of us who will consciously choose to collaborate with Shakti will be able to take the next leap forward in evolution. Right? I had told you that I'll speak to you about what it's a path-breaking thing that Sri Aurobindo has said. Does anybody here know how the atom bomb works?
Ma'am, there are two ways that the atom bomb works. Ma'am, one is called nuclear fission, in which the atom breaks, and the second is the nuclear fusion, in which the atoms of the radioactive material, plutonium or uranium, they conjoin, they combine, and then radioactive waves are released, which in the end would creates an extremely large explosion.
Okay.
My name is Abhyuday Pratap Singh. I'm from class 9th B. So, ma'am, an atomic bomb works when a polonium ball-shaped material is rolled into a cage-like structure which is made of uranium. This causes a chain reaction in which the poloniums lose neutrons, enter into the atom of a uranium atom, and create like three more neutrons are liberated from this reaction, and it continues into a U235 chain, and this causes an immense release of energy, which is about 2 to 20 MeV, and this is the main thing which causes the whole explosion.
All right. Thank you so much for explaining so beautifully. Arya?
Ma'am, in atomic fission, ma'am, the neutrons break apart and cause a chain reaction which continues until and unless not stopped. Ma'am, we only put a little bit of energy, ma'am, but we get out with a lot of energy. Ma'am, because ma'am, it converts the mass into energy.
And ma'am, in atomic fusion, ma'am, we take uranium, plutonium, ma'am, which are radioactive. Ma'am, plutonium of a size of a football can ruin a whole city. Ma'am, in atomic fusion, ma'am, which is more dangerous, ma'am, we take hydrogen or helium, preferably, ma'am, and we try to, ma'am, bombard them with, ma'am, we try to join two atoms and try to create another atom. Ma'am, for example, ma'am, if we combine two hydrogens, ma'am, we will be able to make helium.
Yes, very good. So this is what I'm talking about. That there is Shaktis hidden inside. How many cells do we have in our body? Zillions and zillions and zillions and zillions we can't count, right? Each and every cell of ours has a nucleus, right or wrong? We talked about the evolutionary force, Chit Shakti, Divine Mother, Supreme Creatrix Force. We talked about it or no? Each and every cell inside the nucleus is that Supreme Divine Shakti, that Creatrix Force, right? This is a secret that you must know. So you can imagine how the Divine Shakti is inside each and every cell of our body, the nucleus of every cell. When we invite the Divine Shakti and we let it permeate into the body, into these cells, what happens? Fusion. And we will be able to climb to the next level of evolution. Right? Let us read words of Sri Aurobindo. He's written an epic poem called Savitri. And in that, these words I find really amazing. Almighty powers are shut in nature's cells. A greater destiny waits you in your front. Authors of earth's high change, to you it is given to cross the dangerous spaces of the soul and touch the mighty mother stark awake and meet the omnipotent in this house of flesh and make of life the million-bodied one. Sri Aurobindo, Savitri. Who can explain this sentence? Make of life the million-bodied one. Who is the million-bodied? The Divine Himself. And what do we want to make our life? We want to turn it into the life divine. Right? And how will that happen? When we start connecting with the cells inside each cell, inside the nucleus of each cell. The mother is there. She is hidden inside the nucleus of every cell. And we invite Shakti from outside, we infuse it inside every cell. And then there is the fusion, and this body will transform.
Ma'am, my name is Samarveer Singh from class 7G. Ma'am, as you said that global warming is caused by us humans and it is an evolutionary crisis. Ma'am, it is mentioned in these lines, authors of Earth's high change to you it's given.
Yes.
So ma'am, we are reading these lines, to you it's given, it means that we are the one who have caused the evolutionary crisis.
No, it is saying just the opposite. Well, listen to me. What's your name?
Ma'am, Samar.
Samar. What is it saying? It's not saying that you have caused it.
Yes.
Here he's saying to you it is given the choice to change it.
Yes.
To transform it. It's in a positive note. Let us not see what has happened. Let us see what is it that we can do.
Yes.
Right?
Ma'am, I'm Midhansh Mishra from class 8B. Ma'am, is it practically possible in real life that the nucleus in our body fuse and we transform into another level?
Try it. How can you say whether it's possible or not without trying it?
Ma'am, how are we going to try it?
How are you going to try it? By inviting. What did we say? All the time we keep inviting the mother forward, the Shakti forward in whatever we are doing. We invite the Shakti which is all around us inside our body. And we invite them and say, help me in this conscious transformation. And what are the words that we are going to be speaking? There is a divine will waiting to manifest itself. We are going to repeat those words again and again, so that our aspiration climbs to what? That I want to become an instrument of His will. And I want to transform, consciously transform. Every time that His will comes, it should be manifested through this instrument. And when will that manifestation happen? When this instrument becomes more and more perfect by conscious transformation. Right?
Yes, ma'am.
Is your question answered?
Yes, ma'am.
Sure?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
Ma'am, in spiritual retreat, you said that God hates nobody, and it is, ma'am, by birth we are just learning that the people who do wrong will go to hell, the people who do right will go to heaven. But in spiritual retreat, you said that it's nothing like that. God loves us all and wants to help us all and loves us all. Ma'am, but here it is said that he is the million bodied one, means that we all are his parts, but in the end we are just a part of him. So, ma'am, I was confused in these two.
Okay, so the million bodied one is that he's potentially, we are all God. Our body is made, there is only one substance. Because when we talked about Bahusyam, what happened? God became, the perfect became imperfect. So we are right now imperfect, but God in potentiality. Right? And we have to keep inviting the perfect. And where is the perfect? Inside us, the soul, the psychic being, right? The divine. The divine is inside us in the perfect form. We talked about it, the Angushta Matram. The soul, which is a white flame. Full of, and what did we say in the spiritual retreat? What is the nature of God? What is that one word which can explain God? What is the nature of God? One word.
Ma'am, love.
Love. Exactly. He only loves. Right? So we keep inviting love. And we keep connecting and we keep aspiring. Most important word is an aspiration that I want to change. I want to become your instrument. I want that your will for me should manifest through me. And when will it manifest? When this body, this vital, this mind become more and more perfect. Why are you playing so many games in Jaipuria school? To make your body perfect. Why are you doing so much art, poetry, music, dance, drama? To make what part of you perfect?
To reach perfection.
The vital being. When we do these kind of activities, music, dance, drama, singing, all that helps to refine the vital being. Right?
Yes.
And then why are we doing silence 4 times a day?
Ma'am, to spiritually awaken us.
To make the mind silent. If we need, we'll read it, we'll hear about it in the next part after lunch. What does the mind need? The mind needs to be silent. When it is silent, what will happen? The higher minds, the higher and higher levels of mind will be able to find a passage into this mind. But that can only happen when the mind is silent, right?
Yes.
If there is a pool, there's a pond, and the pond is very turbulent, will the light of the stars reflect on it?
No, ma'am.
So if the mind is turbulent, will we be able to experience the higher and higher levels of mind?
No, ma'am.
So that is why we do silence 4 times a day.
Thank you.
Right?
Has anyone reached the future being? Final
So
being?
the Divine Mother in Sri Aurobindo Ashram, she had reached the supramental being, and she was able to bring down the supramental being inside herself, and that has led the whole world to be open to that. Now we can all aspire and invite the supramental being into our being because it has been done by the mother.
Ma'am,
Right?
so has she written her experiences in some book?
Yes, there is the mother's agenda. And just yesterday, Mona ma'am came to me and she says, ma'am, our children have to read the mother's agenda. Mother's agenda is a volume of, how many volumes? 13 volumes. And it's there in your library, and if you want more, we will order more. So this is a 13 volume set in which her journey which she has done inside her body, and the invitation is all recorded.
Ma'am, in this conversation till now, the word perfect has been used several times. Ma'am, but people define perfection as their own perspective. Ma'am, different perspectives, and there are different answers of how they define perfection. Ma'am, in this conversation, ma'am, what is perfect?
In this conversation that we've had today, perfect means God, because only God is perfect. We had said that there is going to be a seat of God in every classroom in playgroup LKG, UKG. There'll be one seat which is the seat of God. And then we said we won't call it seat of God. There's one chair and we called it the seat of perfection. Why? Because only God is perfect. The rest we are all trying to climb towards perfection. It will take many lives for this journey to be complete.
Ma'am, but I don't think that even God is perfect.
You
Ma'am,
don't think God is perfect?
Ma'am, the God also has anger issues. The God also gets angry, and I don't think that in perfection anger is involved.
Okay, you're absolutely right. But there is God with a capital G and there are gods with a small g. Okay? So the God with a capital G is the God, the power, whose creatrix force is Shakti. And he has many personalities. Why? Because there is so much variety that he has become. So all these personalities are gods with a small g. Like Indra gets angry, Indra gets insecure, and he says, "Arey re, mera seat chala jayega." But Indra is a very important god, because unless we go to Indra, our mind will not get purified. So all these gods with a small g have some imperfection, some perfection. And when God became this universe, he first called upon all these gods with a small g.
So who is the God?
The God is perfect. The God is perfect. And his creatrix force is perfect, Shakti. And each personality of his is a God with a small g. Let me give you an example. Like Neha ma'am is standing here. How many personalities does she have? She's Neha ma'am, the teacher. One personality is that of a teacher. One personality of Neha ma'am is that she's a mother. One personality is that she's a wife. One personality is that she's a housekeeper. She looks after her home so beautifully. And she's a friend. And she's a sister. And she's a daughter. So many personalities. Right?
Yes, ma'am.
But who is Neha ma'am? Neha ma'am is all these personalities and more. Right? So when God, if you see the personality of God, which is speed, then it is Hanuman. One personality of God. Speed. Agniputra. Vayuputra. Speed. If you go to God, who is nurturing, who's creating, let's start with creation. That is God in his personality of being Brahma. When he nurtures and he nourishes and he sustains life, then one personality of God is Vishnu. When he changes, he wants to transform, and he destroys to recreate, then we say that is his form of Shiva. So he has many personalities, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Ma'am, I am Shubh Narayan of class 8G. Ma'am, I had a question. Ma'am, you say that the supramental being, ma'am, the divine power, God, ma'am, they are perfect. Ma'am, so does it mean that there is nothing beyond it? There is no evolution once we reach to the supramental power?
Yeah, for the time being, that is all, because God is perfect. And once we reach, but that's aeons later. There's so much imperfection in us. It's going to take so many lives to reach there, to reach that perfection.
Ma'am, so technically we never reach perfection, but according to till where we can see, till where we can perceive divine power, the supramental being and God is perfect.
Till we reach there, there is imperfection on its path to progress towards becoming perfection. But it will take many, many, many lives.
Good morning, ma'am. My name is Shauri Gupta, class 7G. And I just wanted to take up that question of hell. Ma'am, as we discussed in all of this, ma'am, the whole talk and the whole speech, ma'am, we become who we want to become. We evolve by ourselves and by our choice. So, if we do things that are really bad, God doesn't put us in hell. We ourselves do.
Yes, because the life that we lead, when we are doing wrong things and really wrong things, that life itself is hell on earth, right? Who has seen heaven and hell? होगा ज़रूर, हो सकता है हो, हम लोगों ने तो कोई देखा नहीं है, तो कम से कम यहाँ की लाइफ तो ब्यूटीफुल करो. जब यहाँ पे hellish things करेंगे तो life itself becomes hellish. Somebody once asked that those who are good, they suffer most. So what is God doing to them? Arey, God loves you, so He has made you good. God loves you, so He has made you such that you are choosing God. This is the biggest thing that He has given to you, that you have chosen God. Right?
Yes, ma'am.
Is your answer clear? All right, thank you. Yes?
Ma'am,
At the back, पीछे देना. हाँ बेटा. Yes?
Ma'am, in the spiritual retreat, you said God loves us all. So, ma'am, why do natural disasters occur? Why do so many people die? And, ma'am, in Delhi, my brother lives there currently. So, ma'am, there was a flood near where he's living. So, ma'am, it caused a lot of problem to him. So, ma'am, why did God did that all?
If God only makes our life beautiful, full of roses, will we evolve?
No, ma'am.
When do we evolve most? When we go through the most troubled times. We evolve the most when we go through the most troubled times. And God, because He loves us, His love is so pure that He thinks of the highest that can happen to us. What is the highest that can happen to us? That we live in a palace and we are seeing movies and having pizzas and pasta. Is that the highest? Or is it the highest that can happen to us? That we evolve and evolve and evolve.
Adhyatmik sukh.
Yes. So, isliye our lives go through these troubled times, good times, troubled times, good times. And Sri Aurobindo says that when we evolve, how is the circle? It's not that you evolve like this straight away. What happens? He gives the example of an army. He says you evolve, and when you evolve, you reach here, then you come down a little. Don't you remember? Sometimes we do something really great, and then we fall in our own eyes. Why? Because he says just like an army which has taken over a certain place, and then it goes ahead, and this place has been taken back by the occupants. That's what happens to us. We evolve and then we try to evolve further, but here our earlier nature comes forth again. And again our negativity comes forth. Then again we have to come down a little, evolve and then move. So he says we go like this, like this, like this, and then like this. This is the way we move forward.
I'm in a circle.
Okay?
I am Avi Prakash from class 7G.
Yes.
And my question is that why every time we arise in a situation where we think that why it is only me and why it is happening to only me?
This is because of our ego, which is why only me. Remember when Yuvraj Singh got cancer, the cricketer? What did he say? He says, I can't say why it is only me. If I'm saying only me when I have troubles, what about the time when I was chosen to be in the Indian cricket team? Why only me? Tab to nahi pucha. There's so many good things that are happening in your life. So at that time we don't ask why only me is getting such a wonderful life. So when we have troubles, we are complaining. We don't have to be the complaining kinds. We have to be the kinds who are filled with
Joy and
gratitude.
Happiness and gratitude.
Yes, because me has got a lot from the divine, from our parents. Yes, tell me.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
That was my question.
Thank you.
Ma'am, we've heard for a very long time that we are a product of our karma from the past life. That what we did in our past life determines in what family and in what state we're born in this life. So, ma'am, why does the karma of the past life transfer to this life? Because we don't remember what we did in the past. Why should this innocent soul perish or enjoy the fruits of the past?
Okay, so let me put it in another manner. Even I don't like this explanation of karma, and Sri Aurobindo also never explained karma the way it is explained in the world. So let us look at it with an example. So now let's look at Advika's journey from the time that she was matter. Advika was a soul. The mother had become many. The mother means Shakti, creatrix force, had become many. One of them was Advika's soul. Right, Advika?
Yes, ma'am.
And Advika's soul was put into matter, inconscient actually. The journey of this earth, of this universe, started from the inconscient. And Advika's soul was sent into that inconscient. And so much of the inconscient was given to Advika that now, O soul, transform this inconscient. And Advika's soul, because it was perfect as God Himself, the supreme creatrix force, that is Advika's soul. It kept pulsating, 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 telling the inconscient, evolve, you can evolve, you can evolve. And that throbbing of Advika's soul turned that much inconscient into matter. Then from matter it evolved into vegetation. From vegetation it evolved into the smaller minds, larger minds, till Advika's soul was inside the body of an ape. And then from the body of the ape, a barbarian, and then da-da-da-da-da, and now we have Advika here. Right? It is the same soul going through this whole evolutionary process. Now, Advika has a mind. She's had a mind for many lives before that. She has a choice. Advika's soul knows that the final purpose is to become as perfect as God Himself. Advika's soul knows that. But Advika's mind does not accept that all the time. Sometimes yes, sometimes no. It keeps flip-flopping. So if Advika does some kind of a mistake or some falsehood that she takes part in this life, so she's lost that chance to evolve. And because she's lost that chance to evolve, in the next life, she's given a situation which is difficult, but it is not as a punishment. God does not punish us. God never punishes us. This is a theory of karma which is really wrong. God only loves. He has given you a difficult circumstance so that that mistake which Advika is making, that progress which Advika can do which she is not doing, in that difficult situation, she will make that leap, she will make that progress, and she will be able to strengthen her willpower to make the right choice. So these difficult circumstances only come as opportunities to be able to make the right choice and evolve further.
Thank you, ma'am.
God does not punish. He never punishes. He only loves. All right, I think we should wind up now. We'll just read these words again and end with that. Let us all read together. Almighty powers are shut in nature's cells. A greater destiny waits you in your front. Authors of earth's high change, to you it is given to cross the dangerous spaces of the soul and touch the mighty mother stark awake and meet the omnipotent in this house of flesh and make of life the million-bodied one. Sri Aurobindo, Savitri. Book 4, Canto 3. Half a minute of silence to thank God for what we have had for this session.